What are your authentic goals? What is the vision you have of yourself in the future? What is your best self? What do you really want? And also, asking this question means, and I see it a lot with my coaching practice, to make choices because, we are a little bit spoiled somehow. We want everything. We cannot have everything. We have to choose. So having a ranking of priorities that has to match with your values. This is the first step. And it's not so difficult. Everybody can do it if they think about it.
Welcome to 99 Humans. My name is Jeff Lakusta, curious coach and Wall Street Journal best-selling author, striving to understand how little things generate big impact.
And I'm Nadia, Carta, tech executive and lifestyle coach with a mission to transform lives and corporations by kindling hearts to generate a zeal for life.
Each week, we investigate stories about the human side of leadership to re-energize your spirit and help you become a stronger leader.
Because the reality is that leadership is messy, goofy, challenging, but always human.
Thanks for spending time with us today. Let's dive in.
Hello, hello, hello. Today I'm joined by one of my dearest friends ever. So I'm very excited to welcome Paola on 99 Humans.
Wow. Hello, everybody. Thank you, Nadia. I am so excited and delighted to be here with you, really.
Well, this is one of those things that when we say we mean it, because not everybody knows, but Paola and I know each other since 15 years almost, Paola.
Exactly. Long
It's
time.
been a lot of time. You're one of the most amazing leaders that I have ever met. And I will say that you did change my life.
Oh, wow. That's big.
It is very big and it's true. I quoted you in so many interviews and places. We'll see if we will uncover the secret on the why you changed my life. But for now, I'd love to ask you, where are you in the world and what are you up to?
Well, I am physically and also, let's say, symbolically in a fantastic position. Physically, because behind the screen, I have the sea view. Because I am in Spain at the moment. And metaphorically, because I've never been so happy in my life, honestly. I also dare to say this so loud, but that's the truth.
Oh wow. Well, this is a huge statement. So I'm eager to ask you what's going on that is making you so happy. And oh my God, seeing the sea. I've seen some of the pictures of your place and it looks pretty fantastic. But I know that all of this didn't happen by chance. I know you've been a very hard worker all of your life. You shaped the Italian advertising industry and economy. We could say that you created it almost. It's not a big statement, it's the reality. But let's go one piece at a time. So you said it's the happiest moment in your life. And you also said you're like, I don't dare saying in it. So can you expand a little bit more? What's in there?
Yes, of course. First of all, it's good news for everyone because it means that also when you get old, as I am, you still can reach something amazing. What happened, in a nutshell, 2 years ago, I was still working for a big tech company that you know very well. And in these 2 years, I've completely reframed my life, embracing my new job and changing my lifestyles. Basically, it all began 7 years ago when I attended a coaching training. And this moment, I didn't know, I was not aware, but in fact, this led me to this new exciting starting point. So this is what happened. What I'm doing now is to work as a coach. And I think this is the work I was made for. That's why I'm so happy. I forgot stress, anxiety. I have a meaning in what I do every day. And of course, this came, as you said, after an entire life of hard work and sacrifice. I've been working for 33 years in big companies, but all my past got a meaning in what I'm doing now. It's like all the dots now have a shape.
Wow, this is so beautiful. I mean, I have a lot of questions. And also this is 99 Humans, so we go very deep and we go vulnerable and we dig into the stories. Let me go 1 second to your corporate life. You said you've been working for big tech corporations, and also before that, I mean, what I know, Paola, is that you thrived in a very difficult environment because for all the people listening, Paola as being a huge leader in the Italian economy back in the days where I don't know how many women were around you.
Well, not many. Not many because I am a boomer. And so in the 80s and in the 90s, at the level I reached, that was not such an amazing level, but still it was a level where women were not really many. Yeah.
So leading in a such environment and in a tough economy, because this is not America back in the days, Italy was also tough, I imagine, and you were in a very traditional company. So one of the questions I have for you is, back then, when you were leading in this environment, what was helping you in being the leader that you became, and which are some of the obstacles that you had to overcome?
Yeah, of course. Well, many obstacles would be difficult to pick one out of them. I think that what can help also the listener of this podcast is the principle that I've learned. Basically, I've been practicing resilience all my life. This is a word that became popular with COVID, and I was happy because I've always been thinking that the resilience was a value, but a bit neglected, let me say. And to me, resilience means to always have a bigger picture and to look strategically. So not to be concentrating on the today, but living the today thinking about a bigger goal. This perhaps gives you the strength to overcome many difficult moments. And the second value that I think is really important is always to be aligned with your values, with yourself. Always take the best decision for you, listening to everybody, but also daring to pursue maybe difficult decision, maybe socially not really appreciated decision. So it has to be your choice always, not the choice of someone else. It has to be your goal, not what other people want from you. So having clear values, pursuing them, looking at the future to overcome also the difficulties in the present. I think these helped me a lot.
Mm. And you did take a very tough decision because, and I mean, I want to go there a little bit, but I assume that when you said to everybody, you know what, I'm going to leave this very amazing job that I have, and I'm going to leave the city where I grew up, where I have all my things, and guess what? I'm going to leave out of Spain. Like, how did the people around you reacted when you told them?
Well, they thought that I was crazy, honestly. But somehow they were also attracted by what I did because speaking with people, everybody wants to live the life they would like to live, but not all of them had the courage to do it. And when I'm asked, how did you take this big leap? I think that three questions were important for me and made me take this decision. The first one is, Am I staying in this place, role, city? You can give any meaning to this word place. But am I staying in this place because I choose to be here? Or is this sort of golden cage that protects me from outside? Yes, but maybe I'm also missing a lot because there is a lot out there. So this is the first question. The second question was, am I still pursuing my authentic goals? So am I still in the right path of what I want to do in my life, or am I a little bit in a comfort zone? Am I pursuing what I really want, or am I going after what other people expect from me? And the third question was, am I aligned with my higher purpose? Am I spending well my time? Or am I wasting time ticking the box for someone else? So the answer to these three questions were, for me, a turning point. And I must say that now I am really happy because I'm free. I'm free to manage my time. I do the work that gives me meaning, which is very relevant for me at my age. And so, yes, a little bit of, let's say, courage, but for a big reward.
It's so beautiful. If you go back to 10 years ago, like when you were grinding and you were extremely successful, Paul. I mean, seriously, you were one of the most successful people I've ever met, right? Wherever you were going, I still remember in the streets of Cannes, you would be in all places and, one like the queen of advertising. When you go back in that moment, right? And when you were building your life plans 10 years, so before the event that happened 7 years ago, would you have ever imagined that you would have taken this decision?
Not at all, Nadia, to be fully honest, because the beauty is that I've always been living a nice life. I've been enjoying what I was doing. I did put passion in my work, but the secret is to be always aware of what's happening around you and to be able to change when it's time to change. I would put it in another way. You said I was successful. Yes, honestly, thank you. Maybe you are a bit exaggerating, but okay, yes, I was successful. But you know what, Nadia? For me, success, and I asked to myself, what is success? Is to do the life that you really want to live the life that you really want to live. So, success to me is being in the flow. And when you are in the flow, success is not so hard. It's more difficult to say no to what others expect from you. But when you know what you want and you live the life that you want, then success is coming easy. And how can you pursue that? First lesson for me was understand when a goal is really deeply wanted, so we can say desire-driven, or when a goal is ego-driven. Because if you do something because you feel it, you have a deeper happiness. But when you are driven by ego, maybe you do something more because there is a sort of social approval that you want. And this is very dangerous because, if you don't achieve the ego-driven goals, then it hurts because you feel disappointed that you are not really recognized. And everything comes from outside and not from inside. So how can you distinguish these two, let's say, drivers? I give you an example. Everybody wants to be always promoted, no? But
I love this example.
do you really want to be promoted because you love the job that you're doing, because you are excited about added responsibility, added scope, added challenges, or you want the promotion because you want socially to impress friends and stuff and so on? So ask yourself, because maybe that promotion will cause you pain, will cause you anxiety, will cause you burnout if you are not really fit for that. So ask yourself what's really good for you before wishing something. And this awareness sometimes is difficult because sometimes we are trapped by our role. No? You ask me when I make the big decision to change, people were a bit astonished because I think they did know me for my role, but not because I am who I am. So many people could have a better life if only they would understand that letting go of roles can give you a richer life because you are more aligned with yourself. And stepping out of the identification that other people give you, recognizing you for your role, can be really freedom. You see what I mean?
You know, I hear you talking, and so we are recording this episode in January, where the economy is what it is, and there's a lot of challenges. And when I hear you, I'm like, oh my God, yes, yes, yes. Like, I know that all that you're saying is a meaningful truth. Like, I know it inside my heart, and I'm sure I know the community that listen to this episode is like waving, is like saying, yes, yes, yes. It really resonated to me when you say letting go of the roles and the ego, especially those corporations are done in a way that it's kind of the mouse trap of the rabbit hole and the running. I do have a very controversial question for you. So you said sometimes we want something that if we were to get, we would actually be in pain. You're like, you would be burnout or you would be suffering. But we all want it in the moment. Like, I'm sure that in the 33 years of career that you were sharing, you might have found yourself in moments that you wanted a given something. Maybe it was a role, or maybe it was more responsibility. And I know that many people listening are in that situation right now. I'm in that situation right now, to be quite frank. And so you are in that moment where on one side, you really deeply want it, and you are not awakened yet. So you have not done all the work that you've done on yourself. I mean, Paola, you did a soul searching journey that is impressive. So how to react, right, in that moment where you really want it? You're like, I'm gonna die if I don't get it, and you have not done the awakening. Like, how to proceed? What did you do back then?
The question is, how much do you listen to yourself? How much do you recognize what you really want and not what others expect from you? How much you think that the next step is making you happy if you want happiness? What do you want in your life? Do you want status? Do you want happiness? Do you want both? So asking question, then you can also decide, okay, I want this promo. I know it will be hard. I'm keen and eager to face 2 or 3 years of stress, anxiety, because I do want that. That's fine, but it has to be aware. not because my peer has done this, he has been a gradient, and I want to do the same. So be in contact with yourself. And this is not difficult. It's just asking questions every day when you wake up. What are your authentic goals? What is the vision you have of yourself in the future? What is your best self? What do you really want? And also, asking this question means, and I see it a lot with my coaching practice, to make choices, because, we are a little bit spoiled somehow. We want everything. We cannot have everything. We have to choose. So having a ranking of priorities that has to match with your values. This is the first step. And it's not so difficult. Everybody can do it if they think about it. And then there are many professions that can help you on that. Coaching is one, but there are also others like mindfulness, meditation, whatsoever.
The power of choice is real, that there are choices. It seems that your point about awareness really plays a big role, especially in these corporations. We're always running and we're always on the clock of all these priorities and all these urgencies and all of this. I'm curious, have you ever felt that you didn't have any choices though?
No, any choices? No. There is always a choice. There is the choice, for example, of deciding to work hard for something you like, and that's passion, or the choice of work hard for something you don't like, and that's stress. You can choose. You can choose, for example, you know what? Well, I remember in a past job, at some point, I was very disappointed because I was working so hard, much more than my peers, but I didn't get as a return something more than they used to get. And so I went to my boss, very angry, saying, it's not possible. I work like 30% more than my peers, and I don't get 30% more. I don't even get 10% more. And he looked at me he was a fantastic man, very calm, and said, Paola, but do you realize that nobody asked you to do that? It's your choice. I said, what? That's true. I was choosing to do more, to work harder and give up with my personal life, to do more on the job. But nobody asked me to do that. And so nobody recognized me for that. You see, this is also having a choice.
This is a very powerful story. Allow me to ask you a follow-up question, because so the moment that you realize, you're like, oh, right, no one, I mean, you're a very smart woman. I'm sure that you didn't need whomever was it to tell you that no one was asking you. But then the question is, what was leading you to do it? Because were you doing it because you were expecting the recognition? Like what was inside your heart in that moment?
I was driven by ego goals and not desire goals. I wanted to show that I could earn more money, that I could have more responsibilities. But in reality, what I was doing was sacrificing myself. So I was not in balance anymore. And when he told me that, I realized that I was in the wrong position. Because if you can give more, but if it becomes a sacrifice, it means there is not balance. There is not a balance. So that was quite eyes-opening for me and helped me. I was at the beginning of my career. It helped me dose my energies, my commitment in a way that was speaking to my needs. And when you do something because you feel it, again, it's passion, is not stress.
I love what you just said because sometimes, let's face it, people have responsibilities, there are bills to be paid. Uh, Sometimes, and this is a very social trend right now. Everyone's saying, "Oh, I just want to go and be a solo entrepreneur," or "I just want to go and make millions, even if I'm sitting in a beach in Bali," and all of this. And meanwhile, there's another cut of society that is drowning in bills and things to pay and moving on with their lives and whatever they've created. And at the same time, what you just said is about also pacing yourself.
Exactly. That's it. Pacing yourself.
And so you're in a moment, you're pacing yourself. You're like, okay, I'm realizing that is not worth it. The rat race is not worth it. How to resist the urge to make dramatic changes? Meaning, I know you're also a very sounded person. You plan a lot, and I'm sure you didn't wake up one day and you said, "Done. I'm gonna leave." Right? So there must have been. I would assume that you must have had some years that you were in this limbo.
Absolutely.
So what did you do then when you were in the limbo?
Well, big decision, I think, that come after long thinking, long pondering. They don't come like crazy stuff. So again, when you prepare a business, you have to study the market, business plan. Same for ourselves. When you collect signals that what you are doing every day is not really perfectly okay, then you can sum up a list of information, of big data, that can bring you to take decision, informed decision. But again, you have to listen to yourself. Otherwise, you simply live an easy, not easy life, just complaining, just getting stressed or burned out, but you don't build the next step. So, of course, we all live hard moments, and you know, I also have been living personally big challenges also from a health point of view. But all these things that happened to me were not for nothing. They did have a meaning, and I collected the meaning, and I collected the pieces of the puzzle to build a different picture. So it all comes, it takes time, it takes awareness, it takes self-understanding, and again, listening to ourselves. Because my feeling is that we too often live the life that other people expect us to live. And this is the beginning of the problem. Because if that is the case, you don't give yourself the permission to dream something different. You don't give yourself the permission to say, okay, this is not okay today. I will change it. It will take time. I will change it. But I take note. This is not okay for me.
Mm. I mean, it's beautiful what you said, and I see a pattern, right? It's when you say it's about the signals and the awareness, and I really enjoyed your point that is about like running a business, but eventually, what you're running is really your life, and it happens a lot of time and often that we don't really run our life as a business. We get very distracted and there's so much going on. I mean, I love when you said the resilience is a trend now, like mindfulness and mind and meditation. You've been practicing this forever. But what does it take to have the courage then? Let's say that someone is aware, and let's say that someone has been collecting the signals. How courage plays a role in fears? Because I mean, courage and fears, like when you decided to take the plunge, for example, 2 years ago, did you have any fear? Did you do it lightly? This was a big change for you.
Absolutely. Basically, it comes a moment in your life where you know that that you are ready. Of course, there is fear, but what if I don't take this opportunity? What can I miss? So asking yourself, is it okay for me to keep on doing what I'm doing just because I have the fear to get out of the cage? So you feel it, you feel that is the time. And you know what, Nadia, I have a great news. The news is that when you do what is correct for you, things come easy. And when I say easy, I don't mean like, doing nothing. Easy means that the sort of universe is helping you to move forward because you are on the right path. This is a magic intersection between what I'm good at, what I like to do, and what the world needs me to do. So how I can be helpful to the world. The intersection of these three is where you have to be. And if you are aware, this signal comes to you. And again, the good news is that when you do what is correct for you, things come easy. You get a sort of signal that you are on the right path.
Is the ikigai, as the Japanese people call it. And you mentioned earlier the flow. It's funny, I had lunch with someone yesterday, and this friend said, I'm wishing for myself that this year I get lucky. I said, what do you mean that you get lucky? You are a person, like I see your life, you are lucky, like you got it and all you wanted. And they said, well, lucky means that I get even more of what I'm looking for, and that life surprises me with giving me things that I've been wishing that are beyond my imagination. Some sort of like uber duper signal.
Wow.
Right. And it was a magic reflection for me, because I said, oh wow, sometimes our imagination is even limited. We don't even know what we can possibly have. But as you said, we do know what we're good at. We do know what we enjoy doing. And we also know what the world needs. And sometimes it's that extra push that says, you know what, you can put the fear aside, and you're going to continue to enjoy yourself. It's easier said than done, to be honest, Paula. You're one of the few people I know that have been very successful into this movement, because I mean, let's face it, it's very easy to dwell into security and comfort is nice eventually.
Yes, I agree. I think it's always a trade-off of how comfortable you want to be, and maybe how satisfied or happy you want to be. So maybe also staying in between is fine. Everybody has his own, let's say, mix of ingredients based on the life that he lives and the family situation, so on and so forth. What I only want to say is that being aware, living a life, a conscious life, simply that. Because this gives you the tools to face also difficult times. If you are simply thrown by the wind in one direction or the other, then you might have issues when it's turbulent times to face them with balance. So
It seems that we always close these episodes by asking, what is your word of advice? And it seems you were getting in there, with all this awareness, this conscious life. So I might as well ask you the question, what is your word of advice for the audience that they're listening for this episode?
well, yes, I would say listen to yourself always, to what really makes you happy, but more than happy, what is the mission for you on this planet, and from that take the decision you need. Maybe your life mission is to help the family. That's totally fine. This will help you have a meaning to face challenges. And also remember not to be stuck in your role. Ask yourself what you really want to do. Is your role a cage, or is your role an opportunity? Is a dress, or is yourself? So awareness and consciousness. Yes, as you said.
When is your book coming out, Paola? You need to write a book.
I don't think so. I don't think I have so much to teach or to say.
Not sure about that, but we'll see. So, where can people find you if they want to contact you, touch base with you? What is the best way?
I am on LinkedIn as Paola Marazzini, or I have a website, www.paolamarazzini.com.
That's amazing. We're going to add all of this in the show note. I'm so grateful that I got to talk to you today. This was a kind of a healing balm on my soul as well. So, selfishly, I'm so happy that Jeff was not here today. Even though we missed you, Jeff, we hope we're having a great time in New Zealand. To all of our listeners, thank you for liking our episode. Give us 5 stars, and we will see you next time. Bye,
Thank you so
everybody.
much, Nadia. Thank you. Bye
And thank
bye.
you, Paula. We love you. Bye.